Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to Top Notes by A. Today I want to share fragrances that I wore last week with you guys. I filmed this actually twice, but I didn't post it because by the time I edited it and everything, it's like in the middle of the week, so I didn't post it. These fragrances, some are from my November tray, and some of these fragrances will be from my December fragrance tray. If you guys are interested to see what fragrances I used during this past week, stay tuned. So guys, the first fragrance that I used last week is from my November fragrance tray, and this is Rose Prick. You guys know Rose Prick. It has patchouli, it has roses, it's very bold, it's very sexy, well performing fragrance. So yeah, and I did enjoy this particular fragrance when I used it last week. I was so in love with the fragrance. I did enjoy myself wearing fragrances last week. I move on. The other fragrance that I used last week is from Maison Lancôme, and this is Oud Bouquet. This is rosy, this is oudi. If you are first being introduced to any oud fragrances, I think Oud Bouquet is so appropriate for you to try your foot into oud smelling fragrances, because sometimes oud can be very overwhelming and it can be very polarizing. So I feel like Oud Bouquet is such a sweet balance of the oud and the roses in the fragrances, and this is a beast. This performs very well, and I enjoyed using Oud Bouquet. I don't know why I didn't add it to my December tray, but yeah, I used it last week. I move on. The next fragrance that I used last week is also from my fragrance tray in November, and this is Tobacco by Dior. I actually used this with Vanilla 28 from Kayali. So I combined the two of them, which Vanilla 28 from Kayali, in my opinion and on my skin, tends to tone down the strong notes from the tobacco in this particular fragrance for me. Not that I don't like strong smelling fragrance or masculine smelling fragrance, but this can be overwhelming on my skin. It does very well on my husband's skin, but mixing these two, I love the combination of this. If somebody comes out with a fragrance that has everything that tobacco has, but then it also has everything that Vanilla 28 has, and then it's mixed together, I will buy this fragrance. I will buy it all day, every day. So I'm not, I have fallen in love with tobacco, but it has to be layered with Vanilla 28. So that's what I did last week, and I enjoyed it very, very much. I move on. Another fragrance that I used last week when the month of December start was this particular fragrance from by Kilian, and this is Angel Share. Everybody knows about Angel Share. I plan on using this fragrance throughout the month. I'll be layering with Vanilla 28. I'll be wearing this fragrance, with my Nishane Annie. I'll be layering this fragrance. So yeah, it gives me that it has that cognac, it has that booziness with this, it has cinnamon. It's so beautiful. It performs very well. For me, I can overspray this fragrance and not be, offensive to anybody. I just smells very sweet and delicious. I smell decadent. I smell like apple pie whenever I wear this fragrance. That's the smell that I get. I smell so sweet, like apple pie, like McDonald's apple pie. That's what I get when I wear this fragrance. So yeah, I wore this fragrance last week and I enjoyed it very, very much. I move on. Another fragrance that I wore last week, I wore it around the house, and I did a haul about this fragrance. I wore this fragrance around the house and to do my groceries, and I also wore it to bed. I wasn't exaggerating in that video. Whatever video you see first, when I opened this fragrance and I smelled it, I sat in this room in front of the box, and I'm like, what a beautiful fragrance. Like I tear, you know, like I didn't have the tear, but I almost shed a tear. That's what I have to say. I almost shed a tear. I'm like, you're so beautiful. I have not smelled a fragrance that brought so many different good emotions, sweet emotions to me, like smelling this particular fragrance. And I have plans of buying backups to the backups to the backups to the backups. That's how much I'm loving this vanilla scented fragrance. It has vanilla, of course, in it, and I'm loving the fragrance already. And for a fragrance that I just got and I've used it, you know, I used it twice, I'm loving the fragrance already. And once again, this is one of the fragrances that I used last week. I move on. Another fragrance that I used last week from my fragrance tray is from Les Artisans Perfumer, and this is Batokada. This fragrance has mineral notes. I think it has bergamot in the opening. It's very beautiful. It's very fresh. It's cold weather friendly. It cuts through the cold. Sometimes you don't want something so heavy. You don't want something vanilla. You just want something fresh to feel refreshed, you know, when it's cold. So yeah, I added this to the fragrance tray and I did use it. And last week I had such a good fragrance day. I had such a good fragrance day last week. My fragrance game, every fragrance I put on put me in a good mood. It put me in a sweet mood. It, you know, it brought different emotions to me. So yeah, I was having such a good fragrance week. Moving on. Another fragrance that I wore, this is not a fragrance. This is a cologne, and this is by Bath and Body Works. I did the combination of this set. This is called coffee and whiskey, and I have the body wash, I have the lotion, and I also have the body spray, and I did a combination of this and it was very beautiful. It's coffee, it's boozy, it's very what do you call it, gourmand, but not so sweet that you want to, you know, eat your arms or anything, but it's still gourmand like, in my opinion. And yeah, the combination of the body wash with the body lotion with the body spray and then the cologne was a vibe last week. I move on. Then the last fragrance that I wore last week to run up the week is by Ellis Brooklyn, and this is Vanilla Milk. This fragrance, I wore it a couple of times when I got it from Sephora during the VIB sale, and then one night I wore it and it smells sour on my skin, and so I decided to give up on the fragrance. Then during Thanksgiving, that morning I decided, okay, let me try this fragrance out, because I was putting together my fragrance tray and I was thinking about what fragrances, but then this was sitting in my fragrance room, so in my filming area right now. So I sprayed it on a little bit, because I actually put it in the box to return it back to Sephora, because I'm like, why is this smelling so sour? This fragrance, my God, this smells like melted vanilla ice cream on my skin. It smells so good. It smells so sweet. It smells so delicious. It smells so creamy. It smells so vanillic. It's so gourmand. It made me fall so much in love with the fragrance. But I did figure out that when it's chilling cold, this fragrance doesn't perform well on my skin. But then when it's like normal cold, normal weather, I need to bring it here. When it's normal cold, normal weather, this fragrance performs exceptionally well on my skin, and it lasted so long. For 4 hours on my arms, I could still smell this fragrance. So I tried it again and I'm like, okay, and it wasn't cold at all. And I'm like, yeah, that's the vanilla ice cream that I was promised. Oh, that's the decadent vanilla fragrance that I was promised, and I'm so glad I didn't send it back to Sephora. So yeah, this round up my week and I move on. guys, I want to have a honorable mention because this starts the beginning of the week, but I just want to add that I wore this to church today, and this fragrance, very new to my collection, is part of my fragrance.net haul, my 40% off from fragrance.net haul that I'm about to post. And I got this is also on my fragrance wish list. I will leave a card so that you guys can see that video from my fragrance wish list. This fragrance is citrusy, it's so sweet, it's well done, everything is well blended in this fragrance. So I wore this fragrance this morning and I'm having such a good fragrance day, to the point that I actually want to refresh myself again with this fragrance. It's that beautiful, from Clive Christian, and this is 1872. Please don't drop. I can afford to get another bottle, but this is a fragrance that I don't mind having a backup bottle of. Performance wise, when I did the haul, I didn't want to talk about performance, but this fragrance performed just a little bit. The performance was not what I thought it was gonna be. I thought for the price and what it is, it was gonna be beast mode, it's gonna be projecting. This is not a projecting fragrance. This is more like a skin scent fragrance. It projected for about an hour and a half when I was sitting at church, and then it calmed down. But whenever somebody is like close in my scent bubble, they smell the fragrance. And then when I came home, I was cooking, and mind you, I was cooking goat meat. I was cooking goat meat soup, and you know, the fumes were going on, and I asked my daughter, smell me, and she said, I can still smell you, you smell very good. It smells to me like what do you call it, a lemon lemon tart. That's what it smells to me, lemon tart. It smells like lemon tart on my skin and to my nose. So yeah, this is a honorable mention and a little bit, you know, review about Clive Christian 1872. I move on. If you have made it to the end, thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Also, thumbs up the video when you're done watching, and leave me comment in the comment section. I had such a great fragrance week, and I'm so glad I'm sharing it with you guys, and I promise I'm gonna post it in time so that the week doesn't go by. And until I see you on another video, stay blessed, smell fabulous, and bye for now.